Hey VC, we're gonna do a whack-a-mole, and in the background, the Bohunks, Raymond Scott music. Since I don't get copyrighted shut down here. Okay, and we have a very special guest, which I'll tell you in a minute. Bum bum ba da da da. Okay, Mazzy's whack-a-mole number lucky 13. Wow, let me get you set up here. Okay, I'm gonna be brief here. I was born in San Francisco in the mid-50s. I was adopted. Almost exactly about a year ago, I found out who my real mother was through Ancestry DNA. It's another story. And I have a half-brother who is visiting. I met him last August. He lives in Northern California. And I went and met him and my aunt. And Brother Alan is my very special whack-a-mole guest today. And we'll see if he knows anything about records, or maybe he'll just pick and I'll talk about him, and we'll see what he says. But Alan, Mazzy's half-brother Alan on a special edition of Whack-A-Mole.
How are you?
Okay, 5 random albums. Pick them, just grab 5, hand them to me, and we'll talk about them. And
one at a time or 5? Just
let's do one at a time.
Okay, how about
Okay.
I'm gonna come right here, and this is
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is okay.
Wonderful.
You don't know what this is, do you?
I think
Brewer and Shipley. Okay, this is probably their second album. Do you know anything about Brewer and Shipley?
was Tupac part of their crew?
Tupac the rapper?
Yeah. Was he part of No, okay.
Okay. All of you will know at least one song by Brewer and Shipley on their first album, One Toke Over the Line, Sweet Jesus, One Toke Over the Line. Remember that song?
You sure?
See? Brewer and Shipley. The records recorded mostly in San Francisco. They're a Northern California band. Kind of country rock-ish, folky pop, but really good. Good duo. A lot of great people. Recorded in San Francisco again. Spencer Dryden, who was a drummer in Jefferson Airplane and New Riders of the Purple Sage, is on here. Thomas Weir did the cover photograph, and that's brother of Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead. And I'm not making this shit up like the previous Mazzy Jr. I didn't even say that. Anyway, recorded at Wally Hyder in San Francisco. Okay, whack-a-mole number 1. Alan?
Okay, let's go. We're going to come over here. And, I remember this one. Yeah,
The Free Design. Okay.
I can't believe you know this stuff.
I own this stuff. This guy, all he knows is like Led Zeppelin 2 and Journey. I'm kidding. Free Design was on, actually, this stuff was on Enoch Light's label, and Enoch Light was the orchestra leader and record label exec who did those ping pong records in the late 50s, like provocative percussion, persuasive percussion. It's when stereo was getting popular in the late 50s, and mostly like doctors, lawyers, and hi-fi enthusiasts would get the left and right, so channels after mono, or before really it kicked in. And so Enoch Light was one of the few recording artists and conductors and engineer producers that started producing a series of records. And you all know those great covers, and I have those upstairs. In fact, there's an earlier video you can watch that shows a lot of those. And they called them ping pong records because the whole idea was there was a lot of bongos and they were kind of jazz pop influence, but they would do very far widespread left and right channel separations. So you could, have your girlfriend come over or the woman you wanted to kind of get lucky with that night and just say, hey, here's a martini, and left channel, right channel, separation. Anyway, this is from Enoch's Light label. Free Design was a pop vocal group that did kind of very, almost like very commercial, upbeat, perfect harmony records, and a guilty pleasure of mine. I like this kind of almost like sunshine pop. And Kites Are Fun is one of the songs that was kind of their so-called biggest hit. And I'm not going to try to sing it, but Google Free Design, Kites Are Fun, and listen to it. But very cool record. Okay?
All right.
Whack-a-mole number 3 from New Brother Alan.
We're gonna come right here.
God,
And, let's see what
after 63 years, I find out I have a half brother. You know, our mother was the same. Don't know who my father is because we have different fathers, and nobody knows who my father is. Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't.
It's all right.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Hey, you know that? Never mind. Okay. The Jayhawks. Jayhawks, offshoot of Uncle Tupelo, country rock. There we go. There we go. God, we look like what's the rapper? The two black guys. Of course, they're all the very first guys who were on with Aerosmith. Walk This Way. They kind of.
Did they do some of this?
They did some of that. Anyway,
Okay.
Jayhawks. This is actually produced by Bob Ezrin, and you know Bob Ezrin, who produced The Wall, and I think he by Pink Floyd, and he also produced a lot of Alice Cooper records, I believe. You guys know that. Just write it in the down there where you write shit. Jayhawk Smile. I have all the records. I love them. And what's great is the last 2 solo albums by Ray Davis from the Kinks. The Jayhawks were the backup band on those 2 Americana records. Americana 1 and Volume 2. But I love the Jayhawks. I just love, I'm going to say his voice, the main singers. God, I'm blanking out here. Gary Loris. Anyway, very sweet voice. Beautiful, beautiful records. Okay.
All right.
Whack-a-mole number 4. An episode, Lucky 13. With special guest, Mazzy's brother, half-brother.
Run DMC is what we were looking for.
Run DMC, there we go.
Okay. I'm gonna come right here and look what I found. Oh.
Okay. Bonnie Raitt. You know, you all know Bonnie Raitt, Nick of Time. Record came out, what is it, 89, I'm thinking? Yeah, 89. Produced by Don Was. Interesting thing about this is I've followed Bonnie Raitt on all her Warner Brothers records. I have them in my collection, and she had a cult following. We've talked about this in earlier episodes about Warner Brothers would stick with an artist album after album after album, and they sort of percolated, and Ry Cooder, Randy Newman, all those kind of artists at Little Feat that sold not a lot of records but had a cult following, great musicians. Well, she switches to Capitol Records. Don Was produced, and this record, as you all know, was huge. Nick of Time. I think the main song was written, Nick of Time was written by Bonnie Raitt, but the song that was the big hit initially was the John Hyatt song, Thing Called Love. You remember that video? And I think, who is in it? I think Dennis Quaid, I think, was in the video. And that became this became huge for Bonnie. I used to see her around a lot because she lives in Marin County, right across Golden Gate Bridge. Used to see her perform. Would see her at the Whole Foods or the market and stuff. And I'm so glad she got a ton of Grammys, and this was a hit album for her. I love it, when an artist and a great guitar player like Bonnie Raitt finally sells a shitload of records and makes a ton of money. But good for her. Great band. Her breakthrough album after having 5 or 6 records before this. I can't remember exactly how many. So Bonnie Raitt. Okay, finally, whack-a-mole number
5.
5.
We're gonna come right out here. Oh boy.
Someone just did, I think in one of the color videos I saw, just did this. Belle and Sebastian. If you're feeling sinister, you know, the Scottish artists, very poppy, I don't want to say post-punk, they're not even punky, but very poppy, alt, indie. I love Belle and Sebastian. I don't know what else to say about this one. But you all know Belle and Sebastian, red cover. If you're feeling sinister, what can I say? Scottish. I heard, the rumor I heard about them is that they were like an art school or college, and the project of the two main people put a record together just for a college art project. And then everyone started liking it, they started playing locally, and that's how they started and grew. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, and you know, the records have been in a lot of soundtracks and things, and they're kind of a cool band. Anyway, Belle and Sebastian. So that's Mazzy's Whack-A-Ball number 13 with special guest Alan. He's not a Mazzy, so I can't call him. Okay, how about Bro, Mazzy Bro?
Mazzy Bros.
But Mazzy Bro, but he's not a Mazzy. Sorry. Anyway, because Mazzy is from Maslov, who's my father, and we have different fathers.
And Russian means Maslov.
Maslov in Russian means butter maker.
Churn,
So
churn, churn.
churn, churn, churn. You got it. Always wanted to start a band. I had a band when I was a kid, and I always thought it should be Norman and the Buttermakers, and we would record and sing churn, 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 Buttermaker Russian. So. Spotete zolich harachi majchek zamolchi bujalosta privyet. Anyway, that's kind of gibberish Russian, because I always learn the bad words, or malenki. Anyway, if you're Russian, then forget it. You know, Putin put his pants on, as they say. Okay, take care. Mazzy out.
Peace.
Alan out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Thank you for 204 or 205 subscribers. Let's get that up there. Bye.